Good afternoon. This is a subject matter that I've intended to talk about for quite some time. Um, and it is, I keep seeing repeated again and again and again the subject matter of forgiveness. Now, I'm going to give you a perspective which no one seems to be addressing, and it is the reality that forgiveness is merely a concept and a perception of 3D reality and does not, in actual fact, exist universally speaking on the greater scale of things. Because simply, in order to understand universal law, you must understand the nature of karma and reincarnation. Now, when these are fully understood, you will come to realize that there is nothing to forgive. Nothing that happens to you is for anything less than your evolution, your soul growth. The more painful the experiences you have, when it is eventually understood on the greater scale of things, then you have the power to let go, because you will realize then that the perfect law is exact and precise. It cannot be altered. It is absolute. So, whether you see justice to appear to be happening in this world or not is irrelevant. Each soul will receive either compensation or retribution for everything they do in this life. The power of their thought, their words, and their action will have a karmic effect in time. So with that awareness, come to understand that none of us has the power to forgive someone else. Think about it. You have no power to alter karma. You have no power to alter universal law. What you do have the power is to let go. You can let go once the lesson is learned. And before the lesson is learned, you cannot let go. Because if you can't see a fairness or a balance in life, you can't really let go. And where forgiveness, if you want to use that word, can only apply to self. You forgive yourself eventually for holding on to so much baggage and pain for so long. That's what you're actually forgiving. You're letting go. That is all it means, nothing else. Cannot apply to another person. Now, I'll explain this a little bit better now. Sometimes we perceive what someone else is doing as them doing something wrong, when this is not always the case. I will mention a little situation here. It was nothing actually. There was a lady in New York whom I'd met, wonderful people who accommodated me while I travelled in America in 1981. And 81, yeah, 91. Over 30 years later, I got a letter from her brother, and he said to me, "My sister forgives you." Boy, oh boy, that's a good one. What have I done? So you see, I had done nothing wrong. She had perceived or misunderstood a situation and carried this resentment towards me for 30 years. And I didn't even know about it. So she carried this load unnecessarily. And then she forgave me. Now, if I had have done something wrong, which I didn't, but if I had, the moment that I would have forgiven myself if I had done a wrong, then my karmic debt would have been fulfilled. So regardless if someone else thinks they are forgiving you or they have some kind of power over you to forgive, is actually irrelevant. So anyone, even if they've done some terrible deeds, if they've come to a realization of what they've done and they have regret for what they have done, and maybe they have paid a great price in their lives for what they have done, once they have forgiven themselves with a greater understanding that they now have and let go, then that debt is already sorted. So regardless if someone else is holding this perception that they've got a power over someone else, sorry, but you could be holding onto the pain of someone else, and their karmic debt may already be fulfilled. Do you see what I'm saying here? No. And even looking at it from the other perspective, even if you forgive them, perceived forgiveness that is, even if you've let go, that is your learning. And the other person will not be free of that karmic debt until they have dealt with whatever it was that they have done wrong. But all in time gets worked through. This is what reincarnation and karma is all about. You know, sooner or later we address the balance. And for some people, for me, I've reached a stage in my life where I was able, in my fuller understanding of the universe, how it works, my part in it, what I'm doing here, the wisdom and whatever gained in this particular lifetime has been of a spectacular quantum. So when I let go, it was in the full understanding of how it works. So if anyone can't let go at this time, please understand it's a process. Don't feel guilty about it. There is a process that must be undergone. You know, you will go through a lot of pain. You maybe go through a lot of anger. You might go through a lot of depression, helpless, hopelessness, until you come into a fuller understanding of life and universe. And then you get to see the balance on the big scale, the big picture of what it was all about, and that this journey is all about our learning, our discovery, our self-discovery and growth, you know. And in order to grow, it is essential to have a tremendous amount of difficulty and painful situations. No soul growth is ever obtained without difficulty. When life is a bed of roses, growth cannot be obtained unless you have reached a level where your understanding is so great that your life becomes much more of a bed of roses because you are in the balance. You understand, so you're not going from extreme to extreme. You're not emotionally attached anymore. So rather than playing the game of life, which it is, we're playing a role until we come into the greater role of witness. When we become the witness, we have understood what love is in its absolute state. When we have become the observer, we understand what life is in its absolute state. Love in its absolute state. But it is a process. So if anyone feels really challenged at this time, please hold in there. Take time to be on your own. Take time to connect with your loved ones. I keep repeating this via the sun. Your loved ones, your guides and your guardians are there to help you every step of the way. Learn to trust your gut instinct. Learn to be intuitive. Watch out for synchronicity. And be kind to yourself. Do not punish yourself if you're finding it difficult to let go. It's not easy. Those who are able to let go easily now is purely and simply because they're at that stage of their evolution. Everyone is at different stages, but this is the great age. This is the great coming home. This is the great age of coming back to the balance. This is the great age of Aquarius. Oh, the world is still very much a troubled world. And the only way to cure a troubled world is to cure the troubled world of yourself. Work on yourself. And then everything else will take care of itself. Come into full awareness of energy and how you are using it to a negative or positive effect. Just be aware of energy. That is the most important thing. Be aware of your thought that you're sending out, because the universe will respond. Doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong, the universe will respond to your energy vibration. This is where the importance of coming into becoming the witness is such a crucial part of your soul growth. Becoming the shaman, becoming the wise one. So take that food for thought. There is nothing to forgive. It is an illusion. Forgiveness does not exist and can apply only to self, in the meaning of letting go. To be able to say sorry for hurting self. Everything else is a lesson. And when you reach a point of hindsight, foresight and insight, you will realize this fully. And if you don't worry about it yet. You will come to that unfoldment. Just trust the universe. Trust that you're being guided and guarded at all times. Ask for assistance. All is well in the universe, my friends. Be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. I've actually found it already. How good is that? Have the most blessed time in this change. Learn to go with the flow. Don't fight it. Go with it. Thank you.